welcome everyone to the Soul Station for Session 2, Lesson 3 on the subject of hate for a spiritual perspective with the spiritual bee. So what we're going to do for this session, we're going to start out with the blackboard. And as you recall, it's been a while. I've experienced some death in the family, and I'm just now getting back for your monthly reports. But I left you with an assignment to decipher in your own words what the meaning of hate is. What does it comprise of? So before we go into some scriptures, we're going to kind of jot down, because as I said before, we're trying to come up with a backronym, which I think means like turning a word. It's like giving it an acronym, making a word an acronym, but it's a backronym, right? So it's going to actually turn into a type of phrase, okay? So we're dealing with the subject of hate, okay? If you recall all of those scriptures from session 2, lesson 1, and lesson 2, we talked about the loose side of things, which is the love of us, which we're given a lot of order, you know. It was like, don't hate your brother, you know, how to treat your neighbor, you know, and what hate does, you know, and what God hates on the guilt side. God is love, guilt side of hate, and the orders of how to treat your brethren. It talked about how haters sow discord amongst the brethren, and how God hates people who cause discord and dissembles relationships out of attitude. It also talked about hidden hate, which was like the most dangerous hate, and how the Most High has a problem with that. So as a teacher of sorts, I have learned that people live better when they can define things for themselves and not just go on how they've been taught, because many of us have been taught wrong, you know, and we can't fault the past because they only gave us what they thought was right, okay? And we know that when it comes to hate, it deals with a lot of hostility, right? It deals with hostility, at least as far as I'm concerned, okay? It has a type of angst. It has a type of attitude attached to it, right? All right. And with T, it was not a lot, but we can deal with like turmoil, okay? Tumultuous behavior. You know, this is the kind of assignment that I am giving you. You have to come up with your own thing. We may meet up in the middle. We may have some differences, but I am sure that once you define it for yourself, you can live up to your own expectations, okay? And when it comes to E, what I have found is that when it comes to hate, people feel entitled, okay? What do you mean by that? Okay, so nobody knows hate more than, say, melanated people, brown people, the black people, those enslaved, okay? We know hate like nobody else. But when you think about hate, not only is it an attitude which has been given to someone, just like you have to learn love, in my perspective, you have to learn hate. But it comes out of a type of entitlement, okay? And for many of us in the past, our ancestors had to deal with the hate because other people felt they were more entitled to the jobs, okay? Some people hate you because they feel like they're entitled to a position, okay? They're entitled to the spotlight, you know, not knowing the backdrop oftentimes of why you're in that position, you know, because man is not the only being that can promote you. God can promote you in ways that nobody will ever understand. And people wonder, how did you get there to why you're there? Because God says you're the best fit for that position. So hate can come out of a lot of things. But again, in my perspective, hate is a taught attitude. So at the end of the day, we need to come up with a backronym for ourselves, okay, of describing or giving a meaning to this unfortunate behavior, okay? So what I want to do at this point is just turn to a few scriptures for us to understand hate a little bit better, but we're going to be coming from the cool gel side of hate, which is the center of our love. Jesus is love. And we're going to look at some different perspectives about hate that may be kind of shocking to you, but it is totally in line with life today. So let's grab our Bibles, our highlighters, our pencils, our paper, whatever we need in order to get these scripts. And let's see what the Bible has to say in regards to this subject. All right, so if you are ready, I'm going to start with the Gill order. We're going to go to the Old Testament, and we're going to begin with Proverbs 8 and 13. So I may be a little sketchy because I got my notes everywhere. And like I said, I've been having a very busy week. We had a great loss in our family, and now I'm trying to get back on track with you. So Proverbs 8 and 13. Proverbs 8 and 13. And as you're looking for that, I'm going to go ahead and read. You can jot this down. You can read it later. It's a great subject of study that should be attended to. It says in verse 13, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way. And the forward mouth do I hate. What is a forward mouth? A hypocrite. Somebody that says one thing and does another. Okay, so I think I mentioned this before in the last session. You know, I was like, everybody hates a hypocrite, you know, but sometimes you need to check yourself and see if you are also a hypocrite. You know, sometimes we judge others and we find out that in some other shape, form, and fashion, you may be just as guilty. Okay, so when it comes to hate, God said he hates evil. He hates pride. He hates arrogancy. And I can understand that, because someone is full of pride. It's like it's no room for change. The ego's in the way, just as well as arrogancy. Someone that knows everything. They got all the answers. Arrogancy. There's no room to learn. You know, you're not a student. And you have to understand God is the master of master teachers. So if he can't teach you nothing, you're no good. So that's a karma in and of itself. Okay? And the evil way. Then those who are what I describe as a hypocrite with a forward mouth. You say something, but you can't back it up. Okay, let's go to Psalms 97 and 10. That's the book before Proverbs, okay? The book, just flip to the right, flip the pages towards the right. It's the book before Proverbs. And we're going to chapter 97 and verse 10. Okay. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. Well, what is evil? Okay, so it's a lot of things that needs to be defined, because sometimes you may think you know something and you realize that you don't. Okay, and we may be discussing this in the next session. Ye that love the Lord, you need to hate evil. This is a commandment. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Well, that's already letting you know evil is wicked. Wicked people do evil. Okay? They are full of pride and arrogancy. Okay? They are full of a forward mouth. They are good at dissembling discord amongst the brethren. Okay? Let's go to Proverbs 10 and 12. And that's the book again. Going, flipping to the left. Okay, and back to Proverbs 10 and 12. And we in the Gill side. God is love. Okay, but in Proverbs 10 and 12, hatred stirs up strife. Hatred stirs up strife. But love covereth all sins. And I know that to be true. You may know that to be true. You know, you've had a person or people to really do you wrong and treat you very, what we quote unquote, in an evil way. And somehow you're able to forgive and look past the fault. Especially when they ask for forgiveness, right? Because love does cover a multitude of wrongdoing. It really does. But hatred stirs up strife. It stirs up trouble. It causes battles. It causes mischief because of what's going on within them. Okay? There's a battle going on within the person that is full of hate. So oftentimes, what are they going to do? They're going to project it onto you. They're going to project it onto society. Because there's a lack of understanding. Somebody's been taught wrong. Somebody's been taught more hate than love. Somebody's mind is narrow. They feel that they can't love outside of a race. They can't love outside of a immediate family. They can't love outside of a nation, but you can. Love is universal. Okay? Just like hate is universal, love is universal. You can be whatever you want to be. But I will admit that you have to be taught. None of us come into this world just knowing. We came in receiving information. Okay? So, this is the guild order. Now, I got a really interesting story we get ready to break down in regards to hatred. You know, because sometimes people feel they love you and then something shifts. And then it's like they don't love you no more. But my question is it really love? Okay, so we get ready to dabble in a story that's very interesting in the Old Testament here in 2 Samuel 13. Okay, 2 Samuel 13. So sit back, relax, and prepare for a great story that I am about to share with you. If you're not at that place yet, jot it down and read it later. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, and fair in other words is beautiful, whose name was Tamar. And Ammon, the son of David, loved her. And Ammon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin. And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. Okay? Now, when I look at this, I'm like, is this love or is this lust? Because we need to be able to devise the two. Okay? Verse 3. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Jonadab, the son of Shimeah, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man. And he said unto him, why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. So now it's time to put on an act. That's the first mistake right there. Okay? Becoming cunning. So Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see you, or thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat at her hand. So Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar, my sister, come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress his meat. You know, that's your brother. Go on. It's cool. Go. He's asking for you. He needs you. You know, like most parents want brothers and sisters to be close enough when they need each other, they down for each other. They right there for each other. You see what I'm saying? Then David sent Tamar, saying, go down to thy brother's house and dress his meat. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house. And he said, lay down. And he was laid down. And he was laid down. And she took flour and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight and did bake the cakes. She's coming out of love. You know, I'm getting ready to serve my brother. You know, he's sick. He needs me. That's special. That's very special. And she took a pan and poured them out before him. But he refused to eat. And Amnon said, have out all the men from me. Have out all the men. I want everybody out of my house. All the people out of my house. And they went out, every man from him. And Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thy hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. Brother, what are you doing? Don't have me. I'm a virgin. Don't do this to me. Don't shame me. You know, there's a culture in effect here. And let me tell you something. And that culture is into this culture today. If that woman is raped, if she's molested, or anything like that, people tend to side with the man, even unto this day. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. And whether shall I cause my shame to go? She said, what I'm going to do with this shame? People going to be blaming me. I'm doing something out of love, and I'm getting ready to be hurt. But people are going to be blaming me. Women, wake up. And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Yeah, you know, ain't nothing going to happen to you. You just be a fool and maybe cat. I don't know. But it's going to be a lot of shame for me. Now, therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from you. Now, you can do this the right way. Just go ask the king, can we get together? Go ask the king for permission, for his blessing. You know, treat me right. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her. This is verse 14. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice. He wouldn't listen to her. But being stronger than her, forced her and lay with her. He raped her. That feeling was so overwhelming. You know, the Bible says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. It was so overwhelming. He would not hear her. So you can't tell me that that was love. He thought it was love because of the way he felt. But love don't do this. Love will be patient and kind and honoring. He didn't love her. He was in lust with his sister. Whatever kind of sister that was. Okay. Then watch this in verse 15 though. He done raped this woman, his sister. And in 15, the audacity of him. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly. That's a lot of hate. So that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love, or what I would say, the lust, wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, arise and be gone. Now he done tossed her like trash. Okay. And she said unto him, there is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other than thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. He would listen to her. He done did something very shameful. Now, just that quick, he went from his so-called loving feelings into full-blown hatred. And I understand why. Because he's conscious. He knew. He knew it was he knew there was karma behind that. Really, is the secret gonna get out? That's where it's coming from. So quick. How we change when we don't get our way, or when we do something that's so improper. Now we projecting our bad behavior onto an innocent person. Think about that for a moment. This is coming from somebody you would trust. All right? So let's go into the cool gel side. We're going to go to Luke 14 and 26. We're going to the New Testament. That's Luke 14 and verse 26. If you don't have time to find it, that's fine. Just write it down and study it later. Luke 14 and 26. Now this is coming from Jesus, Jesus. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sister, ye and your own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Now we discussed this in the last session. Like Jesus, like if you don't hate where did that come from? Because just in Matthew 5, you was teaching love in verses 43 through 44. Let's go to that real quick. Ye have heard that it has been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But he leveled up on it. Okay? It's not just a common physical law anymore. It becomes the law of the spirit. He says, but I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. But over here in Luke, somehow, his whole attitude changed, right? His whole attitude changed. Let's look at Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. Go back to the Old Testament. Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. All these books are kind of close together, okay? So after Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. And we're going to go to chapter 3 and verse 8. And I love Ecclesiastes because it breaks down the laws of nature, the laws of life. And verse 8 says, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for war, and a time of peace. Who's really setting the stage when we're dealing with time? Because it's a lesson to be learned. It has to exist in order for you to appreciate and to know what the opposite is. Remember, Paul said all things are permissible, but are all things edifying? Is it doing any good? Is it promoting? Is it progressing? Is it making things better in life? That's why laws come into being. Laws are necessary. Don't mean they're the truth, but they can be necessary. Especially when we're harming one another. Because to me, the only real crime is when you harm another person. Physically and financially. That's when you need to be serving time. Anything else can be dealt with. But that's a different kind of wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to close out on Psalms 139, 21, and 22. Just go back a couple of books. And we're going to do verses 21 and 22. Again, another attitude about hate. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate you or thee. And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee. I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. This is David talking. You know, the one Tamar's father that we just read about, whose son just raped her. Who went from all of this so-called love to an instant hate. Why? Because he knew he had did something wrong and it needed to be covered up. It was in his conscience. It may not be written, but I know. I know. Okay? So we're dealing with hate. And it says in Ecclesiastes 3, it's a time for everything. I wonder why it's a time for hate. In my experience, hatred has taught me a lot about myself. So the Most High may send you an enemy to elevate you so you can look in your own mirror, so you can see the weaknesses in yourself, to see where it is where you need to improve. Because maybe you didn't never know hate. Now you have to know a little hate, even within yourself, to know which side of the fence is better for you in your walk in this life, on your journey, on your path to your higher consciousness, to your higher self. Okay? So again, even though this is the climax for the subject of hate, I'm still urging you to do the assignment and come up with a backronym. Find your own meaning for hate. What does it really mean to you? Having angst, hostile attitude towards entitlement. Because at the end of the day, hate, as far as I'm concerned, has a lot to do with somebody feeling entitled. And I'm going to leave it here until the next lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to support the station. Give some thumbs, some likes, share with your friends. This is a very necessary message, and I hope to see you for the next one. But until then, I pray that truth be your happiness and your healing. Going on. This is Dodgers and Chargers. Welcome to the Soul Station with the Spiritual B for your monthly October forecast. I know I am way behind. I should call it a mid-month. I don't know. I'm just going to say October because life is shifting. We had a major loss in our family, and that's what put us behind. So I'm asking you to lift prayers, those of you who are very spiritual, very connected, you know, truth seekers, to pray for my family, particularly my sister and my nephew. I just lost my youngest nephew unsuspectedly, supposedly. You know, I knew something was wrong, and I just wasn't quite sure who it was until a certain thing happened, and I knew who it was. But nonetheless, the pain is the same. And hopefully we will get a break, because we've had quite a few losses within a year's time, and I can get back to norm with these forecasts. So we're going to start off with your planetary alignment. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. It was the climax on the subject of hate. I know it's very interesting to me, so I hope it was very interesting to you. And please remember to support this station. I'm sure it is a benefit in some shape, form, or fashion. Just thumbs it up, you know what I'm saying. And also let me know what you think about the course, okay, or the subject that we are climaxed on, that we've been discussing. So your external all over energy for the month of October, you are in Venus energy, and you are in the Swords element. Okay, external or underlining energy, you will be ruled by Neptune, and you are in the Cups or the Hearts energy. 28 may be of significance to you. It equates to 10, so you may be close or involved. Completion is circulating. I'm not saying you will be complete when this is done. It's like you're in formation towards completion, okay? And you got a lot to think about in terms of home, in terms of your crafts, your creative works, your partnerships, you know, on your bills, you know, how things are going to grow. You are very mental about that this month, you know, and really having to be honest with yourself about what you can and can't do, what you have and what you don't have. I'm hearing the word stipulations. A full turn. I don't know what that means, a full turn, but I'm going to give it to you like she gives it to me. But definitely you may be seeking a partnership, thinking who would be best for you to work with, okay? This could be in terms of anything. Again, your craft, your career, your money. Partnerships. But your underlying energy and your external energy is coming from Neptune. So you may have a lot of peculiar, not peculiar, but yeah, peculiar or unfamiliar experiences that are likable, that are enjoyable, that are in a loving space. You may even luck upon an unusual love. You know, it's coming from an unusual place and space. Or it may be with someone you never would have thought you would connect with. They may not be your type, you know. I'm hearing quirky, you know, but maybe this quirkiness is what draws you to this person or this thing, okay? Again, it could be in connection with your career path, okay? Whatever that is, whether it's your job, whether it's something that you are creating, okay? But you are dealing with like strong motherly feminine energy and strong masculine fatherly energy, okay? So something unique can come out of your partnerships, your work, whatever you're doing, your creativity, something very unique this month could be developing or could actually happen this week. I'm also getting the word weird. This month. I said week. It could be this week. It is October, but it's weird. Maybe how it happens. In your mood energies, you're going to be working with the moon in Libra, all over. Internal energies, internal energies. You'll be working with the moon in Taurus. Two good energies, okay? They like balance, and they both relate to Venus, okay? And when it comes to Libra, it says avoid making serious decisions and instead focus on creating harmony within your relationships. So it's not that you can't think about stuff, just don't make a final decision just yet this month, okay? Or maybe just this week. You know, don't put a seal on it. Whatever it is, don't put a seal on it. Listen, take notes, study, see how it will work. But for this month, just don't solidify anything. In your external underlying energy, you'll be working with the moon in Taurus. And it says now is the time for focusing on finances and practical matters. So you need to get all of that stuff lined up. How's it going to work? How much will it take? When is it due? You need a schedule. You need a budget. Okay. You need to know. You need a count. Okay. This is business, but this is the homework before the submission. Okay. So you're doing the assignments, but it's not ready. It's not time to submit anything yet for approval. Just dot your I's and cross your T's, okay? This is like preparing the resume, okay? You're getting it lined up. You're talking to people before you finalize anything, but I feel like it's going to come in a really kooky, weird, peculiar way. Whatever it is that you're deciding upon, that you love, something that you care about, something that you truly respect. Whether it's a person, place, a thing, okay? A noun, all right? We're going to go ahead and jump into, well, before I do that, let's get you a sight word. Whoa. The doctors in charge of your source for the month. What is the sight word for the month? What is this pertaining to? Minutes. Okay, minutes. Maybe within minutes something's going to change. Now, the underlying word is without. Okay, but maybe you don't have anything. Maybe you're without information. Maybe you're without money. Maybe you're without a partner. But in minutes, something changes. That's probably what's so cuckoo about it. Okay, probably what's going to be so strange within minutes. Okay, so let's see what these cards are going to be saying. How will it back up these planetary and astrological energies in the month of October? So overall, we do have Judgment, okay? We have the Two of Pentacles here. Underlining energy. Everybody's going to get 7 cards this go around just because. Okay. Expect the Wheel of Fortune. It's coming out of the 7 of Pentacles with an outcome of the 10 of Cups. Okay. Conflict and or challenge and supportive blessed energies we'll get to momentarily. Shock. Did I say? Just caught off guard by surprise. Like damn. Like your damn go damn. Did that just happen? How did that happen? Just yesterday I was here and today I'm here. That's crazy. That shit crazy. Like Kanye said, that shit crazy. Okay. Let me kind of straighten up here. I don't want to take a lot of time because the climax lesson was longer than normal. Okay. It used to be under 15 minutes, about 15, 16 minutes. This was almost 30. So we see that this month in October, you're kind of like in a heaven and hell space. Okay. Do I, don't I? You know, good and bad, you know. Let's just say it's good on one side, but then it could be a little troublesome on the other. These may be things that you may have to weigh, whether you weigh in companies, people's actions, creativities. This could definitely be also dealing with this life, your life. You know, maybe you're a preacher and you are teaching things about heaven and hell. Okay. But I definitely see study, like you're in the heat. This is very necessary. You got to get out of the heat. You know, you got to refer to the books. Okay, you got to refer to the truth. Okay, because it's like double decisions. Do I, don't I? You know, do I, don't I? Something I feel like is coming from a space of love. And then there's something that's coming from a space of temptation. And you have to decide what is best. Okay? And I keep getting good and evil here, though. Good and evil. I don't know if this is a person, if this is you, the good and the evil. You know what I'm saying? The good and the evil. What's the right thing to do, you know? And I see some of you may be worried about doing the right thing. What does God require? What does your soul require? You know, you're judging yourself. You really, I see some of you looking at yourself. You really want to be in connection with the Most High, with God, with heaven, with the universe, whatever you want to call it, with the divine. Okay? And I see you mentally judging yourself because you want God on your side. You want to do the right thing. You want to make the right judgment. Even in your career, okay? But that's a decision that you have to make on how you want to act, okay? Or what path you want to take, okay? Some of you may be making a deal with the devil, okay? Be careful with that, and it's all because of resources, okay? It's all because of some of you, the seeds that's been planted, okay? This is about what's available to you, okay? Now, I don't know if you want to access this personally or if you're trying to access it from a different place and space. Like I said, Venus is here. She's looking for partnerships. She's the one who kind of forces partnerships, but she wants you to think very long and hard, okay, about what's best. This is about what's best. And really, it's about what's best for the whole. Okay? What's best for everybody. So I see major change here. I see you even going places, reaching your destination. After you've taken a close look or you've done some studies, you know exactly where you want to go to explore your options. Okay? And it may have a lot to do with money. Okay, this could be money given to you. This could be money that you have grown. This is money where you have in a lot of different places. You know, maybe you're going to go get some of that money so that you can invest in whatever it is that you are doing. Maybe to pay off some things. I don't know. I'm hearing mortgage. I do see a mortgage here, okay? But you're arriving somewhere, either physically or spiritually. You are arriving somewhere. I feel like some of you have really been in the clouds. You know, your thinking hasn't been clear. You know, you've been tempted. And I'm feeling like some of you are not even sure. Like, you need to check the record. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you need to check the record. Like, is that really wrong or the right thing to do? Is that true? Some of you, these are financial records. You know, some of you been in the red. You know, you kind of in heat. You know, you want to get out. And you're trying to find the best way out. It's almost like you're trying to find the truth in it. Some of you, this is about studying your path. Again, I keep getting truth, studying the truth. And that uniqueness, that weird stuff may be new stuff you've never heard before. You know, I've never heard of that before. Let me look that up. Let me do some research on that. That's kind of where I'm feeling some of you are at this month in October. I'm feeling like a lot of you are coming from a very spiritual place, even if you've been in devilment. Sometimes people don't really know who they are until they get a wake-up call. Something occurs where they have to look at themselves and they start to study themselves or study the circumstance, you know. It's about what is written. And within minutes, your whole mind can change. You probably never would have thought that had happened, especially like that. But you're arriving at your destination. I'm hearing push and pull too. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming out of some push and pull. I don't know. Let's find out the reason for the Seven of Pentacles. These resources that are available to you, resources that you have access to. But you have to make up your mind whether or not you want to use them, person, places, and things, okay, or not. And you have a couple of good options, you know, but you have to weigh them, which is best for you. Maybe some of you may figure out how to put the two together. We don't know. But what is the reason, source, for the 9, for the 7 of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles? Okay, so a decision needs to be made. Some of you, this decision got something to do with marriage. Others of you, it's about provision. Who to provide for, if you want to provide for, if you want them providing for you. This is about sustainability, getting your needs met, you know. And sometimes people need a husband. Sometimes it's food. Sometimes it's a job. You know, but you have to, sometimes you may need some money. You may need some assistance. But you're kind of at a halt. Now, I don't know if it's because you're being asked and you have to think about it, or you have to ask and you need to think about whether or not you want to take advantage of these resources here, of this help, of this provision. But whatever it is, it's got a lot to do with your destiny. See, I feel like somebody's got to get a wake-up call because of their destiny, where they're going. You know, it could be over yonder. You know what I'm saying? You're at a specific time in your life, a specific age. You may need to look at your character and think about where you are going, because this is over yonder. I'm hearing that. Going over yonder. So there is a making up of the mind, okay, here. Not just about your life, not just about your finances, your career, not just about your relationships, but about your whole life. And I see that that is what is important to you this month, is your whole life and what the divine will rather you do. But I feel like some of you are struggling with that, because sometimes the divine wants you to do things you don't want to do. A lot of times people run, most people run, all people that I've known have always ran from their calling, except the ones who came in this world really knowing what they want to do since they were a child. And it was like, I know what I want to be, and that's where their focus was, and they don't have that struggle. They always knew, kind of like, I think T.D. Jakes was like that. He always knew from a young person he was supposed to be preaching. So that wasn't his struggle. His struggle was being on the path and what came with that, okay? But most people, they run from it. But you are on the clock. I'm talking to somebody. You are on the clock. Okay, I see the outcome is once you reach your destination, once you get this information, you know, there's a lot of gratitude and appreciation, but I keep hearing going over yonder. And maybe you have to go over yonder to get it. Some of you, this is about a home. Okay, and you may be getting a loan, you know, or even looking at your own resources. Now, this could be an actual house or just another resident, okay? But I see that for some of you, you will be getting a family by taking this walk, by following divine order. But there's a lot of gratitude and happiness, and again, sustainability here. I see that you will be provided for, especially if you are on your walk. Now, the conflict and or challenge is solving these problems. Okay, some of you have shed tears. You know, some of you have had to let some things go. It's a lot of having to, some type of acceptance is here too. But accepting what the divine has to give you really is already in bloom. You just can't see it because you haven't accepted it. And that's probably part of that judgment why you are, it's so critical. Okay, this decision this month is so critical. Okay, because it's got a lot to do with your well-being. It's got a lot to do with whether or not you're going to pay your bills. It's got a lot to do with whether or not you're going to be approved. It's got a lot to do with whether or not you'll be able to explore the many options and paths that comes with your calling in life. Okay, but I still feel like something is to the good for you. There's some arrival here. And it's like, now I know. You get that information. Like I said, because some of you are studying this, you're looking into this, you're researching this, you be like, now I know. It's like you get the key. But it comes out of accepting something after having so many problems to solve, you know. I'm hearing consolidation as well. Then I say put a couple of things together, but whatever it is, it blows you out the water. It's like it comes by surprise. It just, you would not have thought it would happen this way. And the blessing and supportive energies for this month in October for Dodgers and Chargers is the Magician in reverse. Okay, and this is kind of like you coming up and conjuring things for yourself. You know, it's kind of like you have to make do. You have to go find it. You have to piece it together. You got to look for the objects. You got to look for the information. You got to look for the stuff. But it's a blessing in you doing it for yourself. It's not readily available. You got to go find it out for yourself. For others of you, somebody that's underhanded is going to be a blessing to you. It's going to be a blessing for you. Somebody just, they even be supported, but they are underhanded. Okay? And this person could probably necessarily be the one that's in judgment. You know, I'm hearing right the wrongs. You know, sometimes people do you so wrong and they have to right their wrongs. This could be you. This could be someone outside of you. But you have to go looking for something. You got to go look for the stuff that you need. Some of you, this could be thrift stores, okay? Because this is thrifty, okay? Just trying to find what you have available around the house, okay? You got to come up with a way to make this plan work, or to make this journey work, because this is a journey. This is like world travel, okay? This is exploration, and you're gonna have to do some exploring with, you know, with what you have available, with your resources that you have readily available. Because this is like the beginning of something. This is like really tight. It's not that you don't have it, but it's not that you have it either, if that makes any kind of sense. So I'm going to sum it up, October's report, with a picture. See what this forecast looks like. And then we're going to get you a Spiritual Bible Oracle message. And please support the station. Give some thumbs. And please leave some comments. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's the Dodgers and Chargers for the month of October. Okay, we got this, and we got, so you're going to be able to sleep well at night, okay? Something pays off, okay? You're going to be at rest, but after you get a little help, a lift of some type, okay? You'll be able to sleep better, sleep tight, okay? All snuggly and everything. And I'm also hearing stoop. So I feel like somebody has stooped low. I don't know where that's coming from, but you'll be able to perceive exactly who can help you, what to do. I'm also hearing stature, but this lift, this support, whatever it is, whatever it's coming from, even if it's dealing with your health. For some of you, this is dealing with your health. Whatever it is, it's going to give you a really good night's rest in the month of October. So we're going to go ahead and sign on off with a Spiritual Bible Oracle message. See what's going on. Like I said, you may be wrestling mentally, you may be wrestling with your heart and your spirit, but I believe that you will make the right decision, you know, pair at the right time, submit at the right time. It's just something about acceptance. You know, every problem you can't fix, sometimes you just got to cry and let it go. But whatever it is that you accept, it's already blossoming. You may not even see it. You may not even recognize this, and part of it's because of your emotions. Marriage. So that I told you, Venus is here thinking about who to work with, who to be with. Commitment, marriage, commitment is all the same. And if it's a physical marriage that you're troubled about, which could be in this 10 of Cups, okay? I think that you'll know, because judgment is here. I'm pretty confident that you'll make the right decision, and I'm going to leave it here. Dodgers and Chargers, thank you so much for tuning into the Soul Station once again with the Spiritual B for monthly, and I am going to try to get your next videos up ASAP. Until then, take care of yourself. Hotep.